Welcome to Get and Keep Biz, the video learning series. Today we're talking about marketing communications. What is that? Well, it's a way a firm creates preference. That's what it's about. It's a way that in a very complicated world today with digital and all kinds of new ways in which we communicate, both one-way and two-way, it's the way that we engage target audiences. Think about Starbucks for a second here. You know, for its first 10 years, Starbucks spent less than $10 million total on advertising, but yet few will dispute the iconic status of this brand because of the way that it conducted business and emblazoned itself in the psyche of America. Starbucks located stores in highly visible urban locations. Pretty good advertising, actually, isn't it? Because you're in the face of all those consumers that love your coffee. More importantly, they were coffee zealots inside the store. Very clear that these people cared about coffee, and when you have passion, you do break through. You become something that is important to people. Further, they have these wonderful, striking images. Very simple, striking, very easy to identify, and very much an integrated communication at its finest. Way back in the day, in the beginning of this course, we talked about these elements in which we kind of try to create value. And that's the product, the brand, the go-to market, and the IMC. And IMC is essentially integrated marketing communications. It is integrating all messaging and promotional tools so that they work together in harmony through resonant visual identity, multiple targets, consistent messaging, and interactive communication. Let's take a look at this with respect to the Brown. Yep, that Brown. UPS. There's a poor package guy, toddling through, trying to get those packages delivered. And over on the right, we see those images that are consistent. You know UPS when you see it, all the way up to the top image, which is that guy that comes to your door. That is the visual identity. Now, who are they trying to reach? They're trying to reach all kinds of people, like the person that sends the package and the person that goes to the store to have services rendered, and then the person that receives the package, and of course, not the least of which is the employee. So then we have this consistent messaging story, and there are ads on TV, and they don't have that many, and there are ads in print, all have that same look and feel that's critical to consistent messaging. Finally, they're expert at interactive communication, telling you exactly what you need to know about the status of your package through pretty sophisticated technology. When you consider they deliver on a busy day up to 24 million packages, and on a regular day about 15 million packages, this is a pretty important and salient tool to be able to track each and every one of those. So what's in a name? And we think about this one, American Family Life Assurance Company of Columbus. Well, good luck with that. However, Aflac is very memorable. How did that all happen? Well, the components of IMC are the reason it happened. Integrated marketing communication essentially is customer-centric, and it's about touch points. How do you connect with the customer? It's about measurement. Are we making sense when we connect with people? Is it paying off? And is it effective branding? In other words, is the brand that is being communicated match up with the experience that people have? That is essentially integrated marketing communication. It begins with this one look, one voice thing. Aflac has effective one look, one voice advertising. When it makes it a good example of effective marketing communication, that's what we really have here. The concept is integrated internally and externally through cohesive, well-timed communications. That's the marketer's challenge. How do you do that? Well, targeted, where they are trying to reach a number of different folks. Aflac employees are important because they got to know what's going on. Employees of companies who have insurance but find their policies do not provide enough coverage. In other words, they want to opt in with a little bit more. Companies, especially human resource departments that could offer Aflac supplemental insurance to their employees. And finally, potential sales representatives. All four of those key targeted audiences are critical to getting the product sold. So how does this all happen? The Duck campaign comes out because over the course of about 5 years, they spent $100 million and they had a 14% awareness. All insurance ads pretty much the same, boring, scary campaigns, overly sentimental, generic advertising. And though the company was profitable, it felt it could be more so if, in fact, it could break itself off of the page and become something unique and special. Birth the Duck. Aflac not widely recognized, so the IMC program with the Duck as an anchor of one voice, one look messages, as coordinated use of advertising, public relations, sales promotion, and the result is 90% of targeted consumers are aware of Aflac and 30% increase in sales. That's because people could understand what this American life assurance company was all about, how they could connect with it, and how they could actually benefit from its product. This is the model. Branded messages are created. They are sent in one-way and two-way media to an audience. The audience receives that visual, that message, and they either match up or they don't match up with expectations. And then the marketer goes back and determines if that process is working and plans to continue moving forward through the second cycle. Down to the yellow box, customer brand experiences. If it's not connected, if what the advertising and the communication is saying is not what people are receiving, it's a weak brand. And if it's strong, well, then that means that people are really connecting with what's being said in its alignment. So a lot of folks are really good at making this work. And one of them, of course, is UPS, as we talked about, and Aflac and others. Integrated marketing communication is strategic business process. It's a process, and it's used to develop brand communication. That's it for integrated marketing communication. We'll talk about another aspect of that in the next module. Until then, see you later.